What up, biatches? I'm Polka Dot Pigeon. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. Sorry. All I can say is sorry. Okay? I apologize. You know how it is with me. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to explain my hiatus. I'll give you a hint. The sadness, the despair, the anxiety, the depression is overwhelming my mind and my body and my soul, and it is depleting my life source entirely. But I'm back today, and I'm back with a video that you guys voted on my Instagram story. I'll put my Instagram down below if you want to follow me. I did like a poll asking which video you guys would rather see. The two options I gave you were get ready with me / Q&A type video, or recreating hell looks outfits part 2, because I've already done one of those. And an overwhelming majority voted on get ready with me / Q&A. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping that one wouldn't win, but I just had like no other video ideas in my head, and a lot of people have been asking me to do Q&As, so I was like, oh, I'll just throw it out there, and it probably won't win, but it did win, so now I'm here doing it because I want to give you guys what you want, you know? I don't know, I've just never liked Q&As. I don't like watching them, I don't like filming them, they're annoying to edit, but you know, you gotta do things in life that you don't like in order to grow, you know? And they're not like the worst thing in the world ever. It's just, I like to play dress up, and I'm gonna pick dress up over like anything all the time. But I can't make all of my content like dress up outfit related. I mean, I could, but I feel like a lot of my audience follows me for other reasons as well. So I need to like have a conglomeration of things that everyone likes. It is so hot. I need to turn my heater off. Holy cow. Okay, actually I just changed my shirt instead of turning my heater off, because if I turn my heater off, it's gonna get cold in the rest of my house, and I'm not the only one here, so I have to cater to everyone's needs, you know? Anyways, if it wasn't obvious enough, I'm doing a get ready with me / Q&A video today. It's like 5:30. I'm getting ready for absolutely no reason, but I mean, I like to put makeup on for fun sometimes. I asked you guys to ask me whatever you wanted, and I got a lot of responses. There was literally like 400 responses, so obviously I'm not answering 400 questions, but I'm gonna try to hit a lot of them, and I'm just gonna be doing my makeup while I answer them. So I'm just gonna get right on into it. First question is alt makeup on a budget. Also, I love your videos. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting me. And actually, my current makeup routine is extremely cheap. So as I'm doing my makeup, I'm just gonna like stop and show you guys the products and like let you know around how much they cost. So you'll get the answer to that question like as the video goes on. First thing I do in my makeup routine is obviously like wash and moisturize my face. I already did that, and then I go in with primer. The primer I've been using is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. It's this pink one. This primer is really good. I really like it, and the only reason I started using it is because I was using a primer from the Dollar Tree. I was using the Be Pure primer. I'll put a picture of it here, but it's discontinued at the Dollar Tree. It's not sold there anymore, and I loved that primer. I discovered it when I did my Dollar Tree makeup challenge video, and I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but I've never had my skin look as nice as I did with that primer, and I used it until it ran out, and then I went to repurchase it and I couldn't find it anywhere, and apparently it's been discontinued. So I was looking up like dupes for it, and this e.l.f. one came up as a dupe, and honestly it works really well. I don't think it works as well as the Dollar Tree one, but beggars can't be choosers, whatever that saying is. It still works really well. It works better than the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, in my opinion. Those are like some of the only primers I've used. Besides, like, I've used randomly the most expensive thing ever. I've used the Bobbi Brown face base or whatever it's called. It's like $50 or something. I've used that, and this primer works better than that primer, in my opinion. But yeah, I start with primer. I already put that on my face though, so ignore all my acne scars. They'll fade with time, it's fine. Next, I go in with my concealer. I use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Rose. When it's like summer and I'm like slightly more tan, I use Fair Rose mixed with, I think, light. I don't know, the second lightest shade. But in the winter, I just use this one. Okay, moving on with the questions. Next one is, how's life lately? Well, life is lifing, if you couldn't tell by the intro of the video. I'm just trying to survive, taking it day by day, you know? It's just winter. I think I'm just not built to survive in the winter. I think truly I'm meant to like hibernate and not be awake at all for the entire duration of the winter. I hate the winter so much. It dampens my mood. It makes me hate everything. It makes me lose motivation for everything. It's cold. I hate being cold. I hate it so much. I sound like such a Debbie Downer biatch right now, but that's just the truth, man. I am miserable in the winter. Like, obviously, there's like fun aspects to it, you know? Christmas to me is like the only thing that makes winter worth it. But yeah, life has been lifing. I'm just, you know, going through it every day, trying to survive, trying to distract myself. Just looking forward to the warmer months and the sun being out. So that's that answer. Next question. What camera do you use to film? I use the Canon EOS R50. My boyfriend actually got it for me last Christmas. And it is a really good camera. It takes really, really good pictures as well. It's like an all-in-one type of deal. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Next question. What do you do for work? Right now, I do YouTube and I sell clothes. Specifically style bundles. I'm almost done with this current round of style bundles I'm doing right now. It was our holiday drop. Me and my sister do them together. And we dropped 10 of them, and oh my god, we did way too much. We bit off more than we could chew, so they're taking a while. It's like they went out like at the end of December or middle of December, and we're just now finishing them up, and it's like February 10th. We totally overestimated it, but it's like fine. I put in like the little submission form for the style bundles that they can take some time, and luckily everybody has been super understanding, and we've added in extras and stuff, and it's a learning experience. Now I know to not ever do 10 style bundles at once, because the style bundles I offer are pretty big style bundles. I only have one level of them right now. I used to do like different levels. I'd do like a level 1, level 2, level 3, whatever. This one is just one singular level, and it includes 7 clothing items and 4 accessories. And that doesn't sound like it'd be hard to like source for, but it is, especially when you're shopping for obviously everyone's specific styles. Everyone has a different style, and you can't guarantee that the thrift stores are gonna have all the items they want and everything. So honestly, unless you're going to the thrift stores every single day, it takes time. And I just can't get myself to go to the thrift store every day. I try. That doesn't happen because that's kind of insane for me. I cannot do that. But now I just know, I think I'm maxed out probably at like 5 at a time. 5 is manageable. Definitely not 10. I feel like I've been doing my concealer on my forehead for 20,000 years, but there's like none coming off on the brush. So yeah, that's currently what I'm doing. I also just sold a ton of clothes on my Instagram story, like my own personal items. So occasionally I will sell my own clothes on my Instagram. What jobs have you worked in the past before YouTube? I started working when I was like 13 or 14, and my first job was window washing. I did it for my family's business. I washed windows and solar panels. I did that for like 10 years. And then the last 3 years of washing windows, I started simultaneously cleaning houses. And then sometime during the end of my window washing and house cleaning time, I started working at a gym. I worked as a front desk associate, and then I was promoted to manager on duty and membership sales. I worked at that gym for like 6 years. I quit in 2023, I can't remember. But I quit because I ended up moving to a different city. I moved to my boyfriend's city. Now I'm back in my hometown. Sometime while still working at the gym, I started selling clothes on Depop with my sister, and we started our reselling business, and we would sell at clothing markets and all that. I stopped that also in like 2022, 2023. It was really rewarding at first, but the taxes on like Depop Depop is crazy. Like, you have to pay insane taxes, or maybe I'm just stupid and I wasn't doing it right, but you have to pay crazy taxes. And this kind of bleeds into another question that somebody asked. They asked if I would ever go back to selling clothes. And I think I would, but I wouldn't sell on Depop and I wouldn't sell like on any other resale sites. So I guess my only options really are either to like open my own thrift store or solely sell on my Instagram story, or I could go back to selling at markets. But with my experience at selling at markets, people are so pretentious and like cliquey, like the other sellers, not like the customers. I don't know. I did not like the other sellers that I had to like be around when I sold at clothing markets. It just felt like I was in high school again, and I was like, you guys, we're all like 22 years old. Why are we acting like 15-year-olds? It was like so weird. It was just like, they like look at you and they whisper about you, look at you, then laugh. Like that would happen countless times. Like actually that would happen. They were just mean. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like the weirdest experience. I can't get the concealer out of this tube. It's running very low. So ignore it if I've been doing my concealer for 45,000 years. I can't get it out. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the vibes in the area that I was selling at markets at, I guess. But maybe it's changed. It's been like 3 or 4 years since, so I don't know. But like one of the last markets we went to, we had our booth set up and everything, and we were doing like really well. We had like a lot of traffic going to our booth and stuff. And some of the sellers would like walk around and shop other booths, which obviously like I did the same thing. There was always this one specific group of like 4 or 5 people from all different businesses, I guess, whatever. And they would all walk around together, like they were their own clique, and they would like judge our booth and like talk garbage about the stuff we had. And we didn't have like trash, we had like good things. And I think they were like mad about our prices one time because they were too cheap. But I was like, dude, I'm not gonna sell a thrifted thing for like $20+ when I thrifted it for like $2.50. Like I'm not doing that. And we had this one pair of shoes that was priced really low. I think they were like $12 or something, and they had like slight peeling, and that's why they were so cheap. And this other reseller literally goes up to our booth. They like took the shoes and went up to us, and they're like, oh honey, you're selling dry rotted shoes? And I was like, those aren't dry rotted. And I didn't say that to them, but in my head I was like, those aren't dry rotted. What are you talking about? Like, peeling of like a fabric is not dry rot. There's like 2 completely different things. Like the shoe can be completely structurally sound and still have like a little bit of peeling of the fabric, you know? And that's why they were so cheap. Like they were a really cool pair of shoes. Like if they were my size, I would have kept them, but they weren't. So they bring them up and they're like, you can't sell these. Why are you selling these dry rotted shoes? And I was just like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. And I just grabbed them and I took them off the floor and waited till they left. And I was like, they're not dry rotted. Ugh. And they would do that with like other clothes too. They would like take stuff off the rack and like say how like cheap it was, or like it was ugly, or like you could hear them talking about it. They would like try to be slick, but they were so loud talking about it, like we could hear them. You're in like a 10 by 10 foot cubicle, like you can hear, and they were probably doing it on purpose to just be like brats, but that is not my vibe. I'm not dealing with your high school drama. And that was like one of the last markets we sold at. That experience was just like, it like sealed it for me. I was like, God, I am not cut out to do this. So that's that. I'm moving on. Do you think you'll do YouTube for years? If not, what's your ideal future career? I hope I do YouTube for years because this is my ideal career. I really don't know what else I would do if I wasn't doing YouTube. But I really don't have like any other careers that I can think of that I'm like passionate about. Like I have like none. I can't think of any. I guess, which kind of leads into the next question. Somebody asked, did you have a dream job in high school? And I did. For the longest time, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And then I hit like sophomore year, and then I decided I wanted to be a meteorologist. And then that transformed somehow into a forensic anthropologist. And that was what I was set on when I was going to college. Like that was what I was basing my like classes and stuff around. My major kind of changed because at the community college I went to, there was like nothing offered to even like get started in forensic anthropology. There was like one humanities class, and that was literally all there was. So people were like, oh, you should switch your major, and then once you get to a 4-year, then you should focus on the forensic anthropology aspect. So I switched my major around a few times. I think I was like in a business major, I don't know. I just know one of them was like business major. And then I dropped out, and then I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And that was kind of around the same time I started selling clothes. And then I was set on just selling clothes and eventually like opening my own thrift store. And then I stopped doing that and I kind of got lost for a while. And then I started YouTube. And then I was like, wow, actually, I want to do this for my job, my career. I want to do this and nothing else. Or like some sort of like content creation. I mean, my first pick is YouTube, but like if this doesn't work out somehow, I would maybe try something else. I'm not saying I want to be like an influencer because I don't, but I don't know. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy sharing my fashion, my outfits. Maybe I would be like a blogger or something, but like I don't know if I could survive financially off of a blog. I don't really know how that works, unless I did like a subscription type thing and I somehow was able to get like a lot of subscriptions on it. I don't know. Hopefully I'm making sense. I feel like I never make sense when I do these types of videos. Okay, somebody asked, are you going to school? No, I'm not. I dropped out of college in early 2020, I think, and that's that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have no idea. I do not think too far into the future because it stresses me out and I'm barely surviving the present. So I just focus on what's going on right now in my life, and like the farthest I think is a few months ahead, which I don't know if that's like bad, but it allows me to not literally lose my mind. So whatever I'm doing in 5 years is what I'm doing in 5 years. I just don't think about it. It just causes me so much unnecessary stress, and I just don't think about it. Next question, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I would live where I am. I don't think I would change it until I'm very old and rich. Then I would consider moving to Fort Bragg, California, or Mendocino, somewhere in that area, because I love it there. I feel like being there heals my soul, but I feel like if I moved there right now, I would become very sad in a way. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I would constantly feel like melancholic over there. But when I'm super old and I can afford to just chill and do literally nothing except sit on my balcony and look at the ocean, I would consider living there. I love it there so much. I grew up going there like every single summer. I haven't been there in like 2 or 3 years. I'm planning on going back really soon because I need it. I crave it a lot. I just have to find like the right time to go. Anyways, yeah. But I really like where I live now. This is kind of in like the same boat, the same realm, I guess. How has it felt adapting to your new home? It's been cool. I'm constantly like overwhelmed with gratitude because I feel so grateful that I'm able to have this home, and I'm so grateful for all the help I've received and the help that's made it possible to even live here, you know? And I feel like a new chapter of my life has started. Not to sound dramatic, but I really do think that moving back here and getting this house has shifted like everything. And who knows, maybe that's why I'm like going through so much like emotional turmoil. I don't know. It just feels like a lot has changed and a lot is changing for like the better. And it just feels like a new chapter, you know? I sound so cliche, but that's like truly how I feel. I don't know. It's a really cool experience. Like obviously it seems like I'm always depressed and sad and all that, but this isn't new. I've felt like this way before I lived in this house or moved here. I've dealt with this for years. It's just like, I think I'm just like really sensitive to everything, and every little change, every little thing is exacerbated by my already poor mental state, so whatever. But it's cool, I like it here. I enjoy living in this house. I enjoy being responsible and like cleaning and decorating and all that. I actually really like doing the dishes, and I just like cleaning my kitchen. I clean my kitchen a lot because it needs to be cleaned and because I like it. There's like hair stuck on my face. I feel like my makeup is not going to turn out that good today because I'm not entirely focused on it. I'm talking to you guys and kind of just doing whatever. I'm still doing my concealer because I am talking so much. Somebody asked, do you think you'll ever get a pet again now that you've moved? If it was entirely up to me, no, probably not. But my Ricky, my beautiful boyfriend, he loves cats, and I think eventually he's gonna want a cat. And who am I to deny him a cat? He deserves everything he wants in the world. He would just be responsible for cleaning up its poop and all that, and it wouldn't be allowed on my side of the bed or the couch. I am not a big fan of the cats walking around their bathroom and then climbing on where I sit to relax. I'm too much of a germaphobe and I can't get past the thought. I used to just like not care, but then I started like thinking about it way too deeply, and now I can't not think about it. And they walk around on the floor, so then they're gonna get their nasty floor germs all over the bed. No matter how much I clean my floor, sweep my floor, don't allow shoes in my house, like I will never think that the floor is clean. Like I don't walk around my house with socks on, or I mean I wear socks, but I don't just wear socks. Like I have house shoes. I will not walk on my bare floor. I can't do it. I'm just never gonna feel like my floor is clean. So we have like 20,000 roosters in our backyard. They're basically our pets. We feed them. I have no idea where they came from, but they're not there constantly. They leave and then come back every few hours. And I'm not even joking. It's like somebody's like hen house or something. Like they let just free roam, and there'll be like 15 roosters and chickens in our backyard at once, and we just feed them, and I guess those are our pets. Okay, I promise it doesn't take me this long to do my concealer. Like I said, I'm just distracted by talking, but I think I'm finally done with it now, so I'm gonna go in with my powder. For that, I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. Ignore how disgusting the lid is. This is the translucent one. Very affordable powder, and I've used this same powder for like, not the same container, but you know, I've used this powder for like 5 years, and it's the best one I've ever used, in my opinion. Next question, what made you pick that hairstyle? Is it the first alt sort of haircut you've had? If not, which ones have you had in the past? Love it, by the way, super sick. Thank you. What made me pick this haircut, honestly, was just pictures I saw on Pinterest. I saw side shaved haircuts and I was like, wow, I want that, so I did it. And to answer your next question, is it the first alt haircut I've had? No, I've had a lot. I've actually done like a hair video, like every haircut and color I've ever had. I'll link it. Hopefully I can remember to link it. I think in my last video I said I was gonna link something and I forgot to link it. How embarrassing. So I'll link that here, and perhaps if I can also remember, I'll put it in the description box. But yeah, I just went through like every single haircut and hair color I've ever had. I've had a mohawk, I've shaved my head, I've had a super short bob, I've had long hair, I've had a Chelsea cut, I've pretty much done it all. So yeah, I don't want to go through like every single one I've had before, but that's just to name a few. This is another question that's hair related. Your fave/least fave hair colors and styles you've had over the years. I'll start with my favorite haircuts I've had. I really liked my Chelsea cut. I plan on doing that again at some point, and I also really like the haircut I have now. It looks crazy because it's not styled, but I really like this one. My favorite hair colors I've ever had, probably yellow, and I really liked my black with my pink bangs. I liked that a lot. I love platinum blonde. I feel like I'll always go back to platinum blonde. I really like just black as well. What else? I had platinum blonde with like pink bangs. That was cool. Yeah, that's just to name a few. My least favorite haircuts I've had, probably when I first shaved my head. I think I used an 8 guard and I like literally had no idea how to style it. So it just looked bad all the time. It just looked poofy, floofy. It looked stupid. So I didn't like that. What else? I also tried to give myself like a skullet type of thing a few months ago. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I basically just had like a 2-inch long rat tail and the rest of my head was shaved with like a 4 guard. And I did it because my hair was so damaged and it was like the only haircut I could think to give myself, but I just didn't like it that much. And the least favorite hair colors I've had, I did like this denim blue hair color and I hated it. I don't like blue hair colors on myself. Like, I don't think they look good on me, so I didn't like that one, and I didn't like this periwinkle one I did either. Another hair-related question. What's a hair color/style you'd never do, or a style you wish to do? You're so inspiring, by the way. You're so inspiring. Thank you. A hair color slash style I would never do. I'd probably never shave a design into my hair. I just don't like how that looks. So like when people shave like stars or whatever, I don't personally like it, so I probably would never do that. As for color, honestly, I think I've done literally every single one except like gray and silver. And I've basically done those by overtoning my hair, but I've never done like a true gray or silver, but I would be open to that. But since I've done like every single one, the only ones I can think that I probably won't do again are, like I said, blue, because I don't like blue. And then a hairstyle that I wish to do is probably like a full-on skullet. Like I want to have long hair in the back, and I want it to stop like right here, and I just want to like shave all that bald. Like I want a true skullet. I want to try that so bad. Yeah. What's the best hair dye you've ever used? There are a few. Off the top of my head is the one I have on right now. This is Punky Colors Bright Yellow. It is the longest lasting hair dye I've ever had, besides Ero's Neon Pink, which is also another best hair dye I've ever used. That one's literally impossible to get out of your hair though. That is so hard to get out of your hair. So if you want pink hair dye and that's like what you want forever, use Ero's Neon Pink. But if you want to be able to get it out of your hair eventually, perhaps don't use that one. I would say, honestly, a lot of colors by Yunior are really good. Their purples are really good. And their neon green was pretty decent. I really liked Strawberry Leopard's Lucky Penny. That one lasted for a really long time. And I know this isn't a hair color, but the best color remover I've ever used is Punky Colors Color Off. It's not the like most safe to use on your hair, and by that I mean it's not like a color remover that's not going to damage your hair. I'm pretty sure it's literally just like a lesser form of bleach, but every single time I've used it, it's gotten, if not all the color, most of the color out of my hair. But I wouldn't recommend using more than one round of it because like I said, it's basically like bleach. Ion has a really good color remover too if you're looking for one that isn't damaging. It just, you have to use multiple rounds of it. It's like just I think it's just called Ion Color Remover, and it comes in like a little purple pouch, and then you have to add developer to it, or water, not developer. That one's pretty decent too, and it's also only like $3 or something. It's pretty affordable. I'm literally gonna go insane. There's like a piece of fuzz stuck somewhere on my face and I can't get it off. I don't know what it's like stuck on. Okay, now that I've taken 25 minutes to do my powder, I'm gonna move on to blush. For blush, I've been using this Makeup Revolution palette that I got at Ulta like 7 months ago or something. I think I showed me getting it in a vlog actually. I believe it was like $12 on sale, and it comes with all these colors. It's really gross, I apologize. But I use this color mixed with this color mixed with this shiny color for my blush. And I just make sure to like wipe all the excess on the back of my hand, because if I don't wipe it off, I end up looking like a clown. But I've been really liking the orange toned blush with my yellow hair. I just think it complements it well. Okay, I think this is one of my last hair questions. My next hair idea. Honestly, I thought about doing like halo stripes down the long part of my hair. I was gonna do like yellow and then brown or something. I don't really know. But I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think maybe I might do like dyed tips. I might do like dark orange or like red tips or something like that. And then I just want to like let my hair grow out because I want this part to get really long, and then I want to reshave this side eventually so it could look even more like Skrillex's haircut, you know, his classic side shave. Or I want to let my hair grow out a little bit longer, and then I want to shave all of it off with like an 8 guard or the longest guard I can find, so I can have just like all of my natural hair color, because I really want to see how I would look with it, because I haven't had it for 6 years or something. I haven't had my natural hair color in such a long time, and I want to see how I would look. Actually, I think it's been longer than 6 years, because I started dyeing my hair black like the summer after I graduated high school, I think. So I haven't had my brown hair in a while. Who knows though? I change my mind like every 3 seconds, so that's up for debate. I put too much blush on. Oops. Oh, this is the last hair question. Would you ever grow out your hair again? Sure, why not? I've had short hair for quite a while. Why not let my hair grow long? I mean, not right now, but at some point I probably will. Okay, I am going a little bit crazy, I must say. The way I've been putting my blush on is like a C type of shape. I do it really high up towards my eye as well. I don't use like contour or anything, and I feel like this kind of like contours my face in a way. I don't know. Moving on. When did you first start experiencing OCD/anxiety? Honestly, like 3rd or 4th grade or something like that. So like 9 or 10 years old. Very early on, those are like my first memories of having it. What has helped manage it? I feel like I still don't know how to manage it. This is gonna sound really dumb, but I think just the fact that I've had it for like 15 years, time has helped me manage it, and I know what does and doesn't trigger my anxiety or OCD. I've never taken medicine for it because it scares me, because my dad has similar struggles to me, and he was prescribed like a ton of different medicine, and all of them made him worse. Like, it made it so much worse for him. And once he got off those, he was able to just like manage it naturally. And by naturally, I don't mean like he was like self-medicating or anything like that. He just learned how to like deal with it. And I feel like that's kind of the case with me. I've had it for so long, I just know how to deal with it. It seems like sometimes I don't, especially with the way I talk about it on here, but I'm not at the point where I want to like kill myself, so I would call that a win. I used to want to die all the time, and I have not felt like that in a really long time, like 6 or 7 years. I just go through like the highs and lows, you know, but even those I know how to manage, and I always know that I will get out on the other side and it will be fine. So I don't really have any specific things really, I guess. Yeah, when those rough patches hit, I kind of just have to remember who the F I am, and then I will get through it, and I have for 15 years now. I think a lot of these next questions are going to be kind of like mental health centered. So next one is, as someone who also struggles with mental health, any tips or tricks when you're having a bad day? I force myself to clean literally anything and everything that needs to be cleaned. I will force myself to do the dishes. I like doing the dishes, and once they're done, I feel accomplished, and it makes me feel better that I did that instead of just like sitting and wallowing in my self-pity and like sadness and stuff. Like, obviously it doesn't make the sadness go away, but in my opinion, I feel like at least I got something done what in the world? At least I got something done while I was feeling like this, instead of getting nothing done and then just feeling bad about myself because I got nothing done, you know? So I literally just forced myself to clean, and it kind of like kickstarts my system to get me out of that rut, and then it just snowballs into me doing more and more stuff, like around the house, or like maybe it makes me want to get dressed, or the fact that I did dishes, maybe it got my clothes dirty, so now like I have to change my clothes, and then I'm like, oh, I'm changing my clothes, I might as well put a cute outfit on. Oh, I'm putting a cute outfit on, might as well leave the house. If I'm leaving the house, I might as well go to the store and get this thing that I've been needing to get for like the past week and just haven't been able to do. You know, it kind of really helps like flick that switch in my brain that just like makes me be fine with doing things, you know? But there are those days where I can't get myself to do the dishes or anything. But when I feel like that, I will walk to my room, open my closet, and just look at my clothes, which, you know, takes a lot less effort than doing the dishes or cleaning your bathroom or anything like that. And I will just look at my clothes and I'll be like, wow, what could I wear this item with? I haven't worn that in a while. What would it look cute with? And I'll just take out items, and sometimes I'll play dress up, but a lot of the times I won't, and I'll just set the item, like hang it on my wall. I have like a little tack that I'll hang the item on, and then I'll just like envision it with different outfits, because I love fashion. I don't know if this will work for anybody who like doesn't particularly love clothes like I do, but since I love them so much, just like making outfits and stuff makes me feel better, you know? Or if I can't even get myself to do that, I'll literally just watch Queso, and it provides a temporary escape. I love Queso. He's a YouTuber / Twitch streamer, if you don't know, and I love him so much. This question's kind of similar to the last one. It's how do you get through depressive episodes, weird rituals / self-care stuff? Honestly, kind of the same answer as the last one. If I'm having an episode that's lasting like weeks or like months, I'll just try to get out of my house as much as I can, which is really hard for me, but I will try very hard. In a way that I'm able to do that is I will just like go thrifting, and I don't even care. I'll go thrifting like every day for a week if it's like the only thing that I'm even like slightly compelled to do, and I don't even have to like buy anything. Just like being in the thrift store, being out of my house, it helps slightly. I look crazy. I put too much blush on. I'm trying to fix it and I can't. I guess I'm just gonna be doing a crazy makeup look today, whatever. But honestly, I don't really have any like particular self-care type things. I don't do like self-care days. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I should, but I don't. My weird rituals. I mean, I have OCD rituals, but those don't help me get out of a depressive episode. Those, if anything, make them worse sometimes. I don't really think I'm the best person to ask for advice when it comes to getting out of depressive episodes or just like helping yourself mentally in general. I feel like everybody's so different, and something that works for me might not work for you, or something that works for this person might not work for me. I've tried journaling. That does not work at all for me. At all. If anything, it makes it worse because I'm just reading all these horrible thoughts that I just wrote down on paper, and I'm like, oh my god, this sounds worse on paper than it did in my head. I can't do it. I don't know. Hopefully at least something I said helps. But honestly, a big factor when it comes to like my long depressive episodes is the weather. And I can't control the weather, so you kind of just have to like survive. Which it sucks that the weather does affect me so much mentally. So kind of to try to combat that, I'll take like vitamin D, but I'm horrible at being consistent with that. So I need to try harder. But I just always tell myself, summer will come and you'll be fine in the summer, and you're just gonna have to get through these cold months, but eventually the flowers will bloom and it will be hot outside, and you will be able to wear a tank top and shorts, and you'll be able to just be in the sun rotting. I would literally sit in the sun all day if I didn't get like dizzy from doing it. You know when you sit in the sun for like 3-4+ hours and you start getting like exhausted and like delirious? Like I would sit in the sun the entire day, like 8+ hours, if I didn't feel like crazy after like 4. So my blush looks crazy. We're just gonna ignore that. And we're gonna move on to, what am I gonna move on to? I guess my eye makeup. I haven't really been doing any eye makeup at all because my eyelids have been peeling so bad. I think I gave myself dermatitis from prolonged lash glue use when I'm already allergic to lash glue in general. So I just ruined the skin of my eyelids basically. So I really haven't been doing much. I haven't been wearing like lashes at all. I might put them on today because I'm not going to be wearing this makeup for long. I'm literally just going to be wearing it for the video. So maybe I'll do eyeliner and lashes. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. For my liner, I just use the NYX Epic Ink liner in the shade Black. That's what it looks like. Best liquid liner I've ever used. I'm probably just gonna do like a big wing. It's probably gonna take up my whole eyelid because my eyelids are 2 separate sizes, and I have to do like a big wing in order to like make them look the same size, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do the eyeliner off camera, and then I'm gonna come back because I actually have to charge my camera battery. I've been talking for so long that my camera's gonna die. So I'll come back with my liner done, and then we'll continue with the questions. Okay guys, I'm back. I did my eyeliner. If it looks uneven, that's because it is uneven. Like I mentioned, my eyelids are just uneven, so it's really hard to get my eyeliner to look even. I tried my hardest though, and that's all that matters. So like I said, I used the NYX Epic Ink liner, and then I also used the About Face Fluid Eye Paint in the shade Art of Darkness. You get it, like Heart of Darkness, but Art of Darkness. This is the matte one. I use this and I smoke it out with like a black eyeshadow right there, because if I do like too structured of lines, it just looks weird on my eyes. It honestly kind of looks weird right now, but whatever. It is what it is. But the black eyeshadow that I use to smoke it out is from this palette that I got at, I think, Ross or Marshall's. It has no thing on it. It rubbed off. I've had it for a while. I want to say maybe like Profusion or something. I don't know, but I just used, Oops, but I just used that black shade right there. It's actually the only black eyeshadow that I have. I need to invest in another one because it's not the best. Anyways, continuing on with our makeup and the Q&A. Next, I'm going to tightline my top waterline with black eyeliner. I use the Wet n Wild Kohl Crayon Liner. It's in the shade Baby's Got Black, and it's like the best tightline liner I've ever used. So I just tightline the top lid. I'm gonna look crazy while doing this. I made my eyes water because I stabbed myself on accident. Okay, they've been tightlined. I'm gonna add a very thin layer of mascara. I am gonna do lashes today only because I'm gonna have them on for like maybe 30 minutes, but I'm gonna leave them for the last step of my makeup just so I minimize the wear time as much as I possibly can. So I'm gonna add a little layer of mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess. I really like this mascara. I don't usually wear mascara unless I'm wearing like eye makeup, obviously. Like I'll do a full face and I just won't do anything to my eyes. Just because they're so irritated by everything. But this mascara works really well and I really like it a lot. And it's very buildable and it doesn't make my eyes water, which surprised me because usually everything makes my eyes water, but this doesn't. And I feel like it's not like, what's the word? You know how sometimes mascaras feel just like dry and not hydrated, I guess? This feels almost hydrating, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how mascara can be hydrating, but this one, it feels hydrating and it doesn't feel dry and disgusting like I have hairspray on my eyelashes, because I don't like when my lashes feel like that. Okay, let me answer some more questions. How do you find the motivation to create? I also have depression and I love fashion and crafts. Lately, I haven't had like natural occurring motivation. I have to force myself to do anything. I don't have motivation, like I just don't. I'm constantly forcing myself to do stuff, which in turn leads me to have motivation eventually, you know? Like a few weeks ago, I forced myself to do some DIYs. I made like a bag, a skirt, a few other things. Yeah, I forced myself to do that because I was like, I love DIY. Why do I not feel like doing anything? So I just forced myself to do it. And then I was like, oh, I just needed to force myself to start, and now I actually want to do it. So I would do it one day and the next day I'd wake up and I'd instantly want to like get back into it. So for me, I just really have to force myself to do anything. Like with this video, I've been putting it off for quite a few days. I meant to film it this past weekend, but my boyfriend was here and he's never here. So I was like, I don't want to film when he's here. Kind of just making excuses for myself. And then today I waited until almost 6 p.m. to film it, and now that I've actually just started filming it, it's like natural to me and it doesn't feel as daunting and I'm not like dreading it, I guess. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is I don't find the motivation very often. I have to force it a lot of the time, recently at least. It is what it is, you just gotta do what you gotta do, and that's what works for me. I'm gonna go ahead and line the very outer corner of my bottom lash line. I just do like the littlest bit. You see that? Like I don't do a lot. And then I smudge it out with the little smudge brush that I use to like smudge that eyeliner out. I just do this. I actually have like a sty or a pimple on my lower lash line, so I probably shouldn't be wearing makeup, but it's not even a sty. It's like, I don't know, I get them sometimes. It's like a blocked duct or something, but they go away. They never like come to a head or whatever. They just like slightly hurt. And I also think they're caused by my dermatitis. I think dry skin or something gets stuck in them. I don't know, but it's okay. Nothing I can't manage, you know? Somebody asked me what are my favorite movies, TV shows, and YouTubers. My favorite movie of all time is probably Pacific Rim or Iron Giant. I'm not a big movie person. I do not watch movies like ever. I would rather watch YouTube than a movie. I just am like such a hater when it comes to watching movies, and I criticize like everything about them, and then it just makes me hate the experience, which is my own problem. I need to like chill. Sometimes I'm just like, this is so stupid. Why would they do this instead of that? Like that's literally how I am. Or I focus way too much on the costume design in movies, and I'm like, this isn't even accurate to like what they were actually wearing back then. Especially when it comes to like movies now trying to depict like 90s or 2000 style, and they just do it horribly. there's like TV shows that do it really bad and movies that do it really bad, and I'm like, that's all I can focus on just because I like fashion so much, and it just makes it not enjoyable for me. I'm like, dude, their outfits suck so much, I don't even want to watch this. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am just not a big movie person or TV show person, to be honest. I don't watch TV shows ever. Honestly, I rarely watch anything besides YouTube. But I used to watch a lot of like cartoons because I babysat my little brother and sister. And I will say, I think my favorite TV show of all time is Barbie: Life in the Dream House. That TV show is so funny. Raquel, oh my god, she's also... They just make her do like the dumbest things, and her attitude is so funny, and I get a lot of the phrases that I say from Barbie: Life in the Dream House, like gorgelicious or whatever, or that's from Barbie: Life in the Dream House. It's just iconic TV show, and I have rewatched it probably like 15 times. I did recently get myself to watch a movie with Ricky. It was Begonia, and I will say that was decent. I didn't hate the experience entirely. I did kind of criticize it a little bit, but that's just how I am. So that was a pretty good movie. If you haven't watched it, I do recommend it. It's probably not going to be for everybody. I feel like a lot of people are going to think it's really stupid, but it was just interesting, and honestly, it ended in a totally different way than I thought it would. Like, I was set on it not ending the way it did, and then it ended that way, and I was like, what in the world? Like, I did not expect that. So yeah, that's my take on movies and TV shows. Moving on to my favorite YouTubers though, my all-time #1 favorite YouTuber is Queso. I love Queso so much. He's my fave, and I don't think that will be changing anytime soon. I don't know, I just love Queso so much. And I feel like he plays really interesting games. Yeah, Queso's my favorite, and for my birthday I asked my boyfriend to try to get him to shout me out and say happy birthday to me on one of his streams. So we'll see if it happens. Obviously I watch other YouTubers besides Queso though. I watch Jubers, Flo Luddle, I watch Brooke Allred, I watch Diana Wren, I watch a lot of Moist Critical, I watch a lot of random dash cam videos. I don't know why, but I like to watch like crash dash cams. Like, I'll watch just like 2-hour-long compilations of those. I don't know why, because like low-key they like make me really paranoid when I drive, but they're just so interesting. And then obviously I support my boyfriend and his channel, Dump Toes. Yeah, but for the most part I watch Queso. I watch a lot of Queso. While I was talking though, I kind of smoked that out with a brown eyeshadow. The brown shade in the same palette. I used this one. It's kind of shimmery, but it's the only brown eyeshadow I have. Okay, continuing on with my eyes, I use the same kohl eyeliner, just in a different shade. This is brown, and I tightline the rest of my eye with it. It's less harsh than the black. I just feel like it looks better on my eye shape. Then I smoke it out with that same brush from earlier, ever so slightly. So that's what the eye makeup is looking like so far. It kind of looks weird until I put lashes on, to be honest. Let me answer another question though. What are your favorite foods? I like cottage cheese. I like chicken and biscuit crackers. I like potatoes in many forms. Mashed potatoes, fried potatoes, baked potatoes. I just like potatoes. I like cornbread. I like frozen mango, rice. I like avocados. I like nacho fries from Taco Bell, and I like loaded hash browns from Dunkin'. And then kind of going along with my favorite foods, somebody asked what is my favorite meal. I don't have just one singular favorite meal, so I'm gonna give you a few. I like chana masala with garlic naan. I like chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes, cornbread, and green beans, or like roasted carrots or something. I like my mom's quiche that she makes. I also like my mom's Chilean cornbread. And this last one kind of sounds disgusting. I kind of just made it up, but it's so good. I like salad mix with cottage cheese, some type of cracker, like club cracker, Ritz crackers, chicken and biscuit, Cheez-Its, Chick-fil-A sauce, and salt and pepper. So I'll just like get the salad mix. It has to be like a lettuce and carrot and cabbage mix. Then I'll put cottage cheese on that. Then I'll put salt and pepper on the cottage cheese. Then I'll put a little dollop of Chick-fil-A sauce, and then I'll put crackers on the side, and I mix all that up, and it's so good. It is so good. Whenever I have cottage cheese and salad mix, I will eat that every single day until both of those things are gone. Like I'll eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't care. I love it so much. It's like super savory and I really like savory things, but I feel like I'm still getting like health benefits because of the salad mix. I don't know. I love eating that. It sounds nasty, but you just have to trust me on it. Try it. It's really good. I'm trying to think what the next step of my makeup is. I haven't been doing my eyebrows for like the past 5-6 months. Occasionally I'll do like a colorful eyebrow. I did that a few times last week, but they just take too long and honestly, I don't feel like doing that. Maybe I'll do some colorful dots or something. Wait, actually before I do that, I'm gonna do my like white eyeliner thing that I like to do. I use the same Wet n Wild kohl eyeliner pencil. This is just in the white shade, and I kind of just try to like highlight my inner corner, I guess. So I do it right like underneath here and kind of up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I do that on both sides, obviously, and then I'll blend it out a little bit because it looks a little crazy if I don't blend it out. I kind of just like pat it. I feel like that's the best way to blend it. Then after I do that, I take this very light pink shade in this palette and I mix it with the white shade that's in that Makeup Revolution palette that I showed you earlier. This white one right there. I mix those and then I put it right here and just highlight that corner of my eye. I don't know if it even shows up on camera, but IRL, it looks brightening and beautiful. I like to mix the white with the pink instead of just going in with stark white because I feel like it looks like a little bit more natural, you know? And it kind of makes the blush blend into everything else in a way. I'm gonna move on to my lips now. I'm gonna be using the LA Colors Gel Lip Liner in the shade Cafe. This is what it looks like. I use either this one or I use this ColourPop one in the shade Chain Reaction. They're basically like the same shade. Chain Reaction is just a little bit darker. So usually I'll go in with this first and then I'll like darken it up with this. I'm forgetting to answer questions. Somebody asked, when did you start dressing more alternatively? I feel like I really started to dress more alternatively like the summer after senior year of high school. Like I've always dressed differently than my peers, but if you're talking more of like a punk emo goth type of way, I guess that started like the summer after I graduated high school. I started experimenting more with those styles and that's what led me to how I dress now. How long did it take you to feel comfortable with your style? I didn't really feel comfortable with my style until I was like 22 or 23. Up until then, I was just constantly changing it. I was very easily influenced. I didn't necessarily wear what was trendy, but I cared a lot about like how other people were perceiving me, and it took me a while to just like stop caring and just wear what I wanted to wear. So like yeah, 22, 23 is when I truly just like discovered my style. Even though I don't have like one particular style, I just know what I like. I just learned what I liked and I stopped caring about other people's opinions about how I dressed. Next question is, who is your biggest fashion inspiration? I don't have one main fashion inspiration. There's like so many different things that I draw inspiration from, which kind of leads into the next question. Where do you find outfit inspiration from outside of Pinterest, Hell's Look, etc.? Obviously, I do find outfit inspiration from Pinterest, Hell's Looks, Fruits Magazine, all that kind of stuff. But I also really like to look at old clothing catalogs. I like to look at costume design from movies that actually do it right. Like you can find pictures from like certain characters' fittings online if you just like look up blah 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 costume design or costume fittings. Like you can see when they're actually trying on the outfits. What else do I get inspiration from? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, my mutuals. You can get inspiration from like literally anything. You can like look outside and see the color of a certain flower and be like, wow, I want to look like that flower. I don't know. I find inspiration in a lot of stuff. What is your favorite era of fashion? I say it all the time, man. I love 2000 to like 2012 fashion. Like anything in between is my favorite era of fashion. Obviously, I like 90s, 80s. I like it all, but my favorite is 2000 to 2012. There's just something about it. It makes my soul happy. Okay, that's what the first lip liner is looking like. Now I'm gonna go over it with the ColourPop one, just on like the outer edges, I guess. For my lipstick, I'm using something new. I mean, I've used it a few times, but it's new to you guys. I don't think I've worn it in a video yet. It's this LA Colors lipstick in the shade Apple Cider. I just put that in the middle. It's like a spicy orangey brick color, I guess. I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. I can't make up my mind. Sometimes I like it, and then sometimes I'm like, wow, that's way too orange. But I think today it looks fine. Okay, on top of all that, I put the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Eclair. How do you say that word? Eclair, whatever. It's like a pinky mauve color, which does not match these tones, but sometimes I feel like this is way too warm and I need to like cool it down a bit, and this helps with that. It kind of just has like a gray cast almost. I like to use it over warm toned things. Then on top of that, I add a mattifying lip cream by NYX. This is the soft matte lip cream in the shade Abu Dhabi. It's like a nude type of color. I just put a little bit to mattify the whole thing. And I feel like this is really what makes my lip color stay in place all day. And that's what it looks like. Next question, can you play an instrument? I played the violin for like 10 years. I stopped once I graduated high school, but I'm sure if somebody gave me a violin, I'd be able to still play it at least a little bit, you know? I'm almost done with my makeup and I have so many more questions left to answer. So there might be a little portion of this where I just take you into my room and just talk to you guys. Who knows? I guess I'm gonna put my lashes on now though. One question I got was, what lashes do I use? I don't have the like case anymore, but I know that they're manga lashes or manga lashes. If you just look up manga lashes, they're just like spiky lashes. So that's what they look like. When I do wear lashes, because I sometimes still do, even though I shouldn't, it's these. I feel like they're much more flattering on my eye shape than the ones I used to wear, which are like super dramatic, fluffy ones. I feel like those kind of just made my eyes look really small. These like open up my eyes, I guess. And the lash glue I use is the Yunior London 18-hour lash glue. It's the only lash glue I've found that's like minimally irritating to my eyes. It still irritates them, but to a lesser extent than like Duo or Kiss lash glue. And I always just get like the little test tubes. This comes with their like $2 lashes that they have. Okay, the next few questions are gonna be all about music. A lot of you guys wanted to know about my music and my music taste and all that. And honestly, I don't like talking about music that much because I feel like I sound stupid when I talk about it. Somebody asked, how do you find new music? Where do you find music inspiration? I find a lot of new music from TikTok and from my boyfriend. He does like music content creation, so a lot of it's from him. TikTok, my sister, sometimes YouTube Music just recommends me different bands, but a lot of it's just from TikTok, to be honest. What are some of your favorite songs / artists right now? Recently, I've been listening to Water's Edge by 1997. I've been listening to a lot of just albums entirely. One being Upon a Vessel Forever Lost at Sea, I Awake from a Strange Dream, and that's by Greetings from June. It's a really long name. And then another one, also from Greetings from June, is Static to the Homeland. Those albums are really good, and Greetings from June just reminds me of Hum. They're very good, and a lot of their songs are like really long and they just have like crazy melodies and riffs and stuff, and I really like how they sound. So I recommend them a lot. One of my favorite songs from them is Very Homesick. I love that song. I've also been listening to the album Ain't No Princess by Can't Bear This Party. I've also been listening to Cianvar's EP. It's just self-titled Cianvar. I'm probably not saying that right. The lead singer is the lead singer from Hail the Sun, which I didn't know that, so that's cool. I've been listening to this EP by Red Stars Theory. It's called Life in a Bubble Can Be Beautiful. My favorite song off that EP is A Sailor's Warning. It is a beautiful song, very melancholic, I guess you could say. And I've also been listening to Blind by Swans, and I listen to that song constantly, multiple times a week. I love that song so much, and I've been listening to it for like years straight now. So that's just to name a few. I do have a playlist on YouTube Music called Earth Crosser, I think. If I can link it in the description box, I'll link it so you guys can go check out all my music. I will say it's just one singular playlist. I put everything I listen to on it, and a lot of it is just whole albums downloaded one after another. So it's just like album after album after album, and I just like shuffle play the whole playlist. There's probably like a lot of duplicates. That's just how I listen to my music. I think it's like 5 hours long or longer, I don't know. So if I can link it, I'll link it for you, okay? Somebody asked me what was your music taste like when you were younger. Honestly, I listened to like whatever my parents listened to because I didn't really have like my own music listening device. So it was like a lot of country music, whatever was on the radio. I listened to Korn and Linkin Park. I listened to One Direction. I loved One Direction. I still love One Direction. And then in high school, my stepdad introduced me to 21 Pilots. So I listened to a lot of 21 Pilots. I still listen to 21 Pilots. Oh my god, I love 21 Pilots. And then when I did get my own like music listening device in high school, like a touchscreen phone, which was I think sophomore or junior year, I started listening to like what people called like the art ho music or whatever, just like the indie stuff, like Tyler the Creator, Rex Orange County, Mac DeMarco, Tame Impala, Troye Sivan, The Neighborhood, Dayglow, Men I Trust, all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of just developed from there. Next question, what was your introduction to the genres you listen to now? Honestly, meeting my boyfriend Ricky. He introduced me to so much music that I like had no idea existed, and honestly it makes me feel really stupid because like before I met him, I had no idea who Alice in Chains were or Soundgarden or Stone Temple Pilots, and I was like 20 years old at that point, had no idea who they were, and I feel so dumb and so behind because of that, but it's fine, you know? So he introduced me to literally all of that. I was like super sheltered growing up, I feel like, so it sounds like contradictory because I said I listened to Korn and Linkin Park, but like I listened exclusively to those two bands. I didn't listen to anything else under that like umbrella of music. So I feel like I was sheltered when it came to music, and it makes me feel like a poser in a way because I discovered all that stuff so late. Like I listen to a lot of emo music right now, but I never had like an emo kid phase. You know, I didn't listen to Pierce the Veil in like 6th grade or anything like that, or like Black Veil Brides or anything. I recently, like within the past 5 or 6 years, started listening to that type of music. But I guess I'm just living out my emo kid phase in my 20s. I don't know. Somebody asked me what my guilty pleasure music is. I have one answer and one answer only. Addison Rae. I love Addison Rae's debut album titled Addison. I'm not even gonna lie, it was my top listened to album of 2025. It just made me feel so happy, good, and I am gonna listen to music that makes me feel happy and good. Hello? I don't know, it made me feel like it was like 2014 and I was listening to like Chainsmokers walking around Forever 21 or something. Like it gave me that feeling. So I will listen to anything that gives me that feeling, okay? And it's a really good album. What inactive bands would you want to see live? I can think of two off the top of my head, one being Title Fight. I feel like that's everyone's answer. But second is Linkin Park with Chester Bennington. I know Linkin Park's still active, but I don't like their new singer. I'm sorry, I just don't. So there's my answer. Okay, I had to take a little break to put this lash on, but this next question I actually don't like at all because it's way too hard to answer. But I tried. It's top 3 albums of all time. I don't have 3 listed, I have like 12. First being You'd Prefer an Astronaut by Hum. Then we've got Fantastic Planet by Failure. Then American Thighs by Veruca Salt. Then I have So Tonight That I Might See by Mazzy Star. Literally Anything by Tool. I love all of Tool's stuff. The Great Annihilator by Swans. There was a phase of my life where I listened to that album in its entirety every single day. Their music, I don't even know how to explain it. I remember somebody said that I was fake for saying that I like Swans because they said nobody likes Swans. I was like, what do you mean? Like, just say you're not intelligent or something. I don't know. I think swans are great. Then I have Titanic Rising by Wise Blood. Oh my god. That is such a beautiful album. Andromeda. Oh my god. You just have to listen to that whole album. You have to. Her voice is crazy. Everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? By the Cranberries. Also, No Need to Argue by the Cranberries. Then we've got an album very near and dear to my heart, A Song for You by the Carpenters. And then we have Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park. And then we got Korn's self-titled Korn. And that's the answer to that album question. This question was interesting. Does your music taste ever change your style or how you present? And I would say it used to. Like a few years ago when I was super into like goth music and stuff, I was dressing very goth and trad goth influenced. But I feel like the past 3 years or so, I kind of just like listen to music and just dress how I want. Like I don't feel like I need to look the part, you know? Like you can listen to whatever music, you don't have to dress like that specific style. But I feel like on the other side of that coin, like I don't think you should be taking on a musical subculture's aesthetic solely for the aesthetic without knowing anything about it. Like I feel like you shouldn't dress like trad goth and not listen to goth music or know about the subculture at all. That's like poser vibes, basically, you know? But you can listen to a specific type of music and not have to look the part, if that makes sense. My camera's gonna die again. Wow. Let me put this lash on and then I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna take you guys in my room and we're gonna finish chatting. Okay. Sorry if this video sucks. I'm trying to get back into filming. I haven't filmed for so long and I'm out of it and I apologize. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? Okay guys, I'm back. I finished my makeup and I did my hair. I ended up doing something on my eyebrow area like I was debating on, and then I added dots all over my face. I've always wanted to do like the faux beauty marks and I've literally never done it for some reason. So I did it today. My lashes are like really high above my lash line, so you might be able to tell. It's fine though. I wear my lashes like that like every single time I wear lashes because they bother my lash line so much. So I try to conceal the gap with eyeliner. I don't know, but this is what the makeup looks like.
Beautiful.
And I did my hair. It doesn't look as good as it could look because it's clean. I just washed it last night. I always tell you guys, my hair looks way better when it's dirty, like it's meant to be dirty. But look how grown out my roots are. My hair's getting so long. And then look at this brown. This is my natural hair color. I thought it had more of like a strawberry blonde tinge to it, but clearly it's just straight up brown. That's how long it's been since I had my natural hair. Like I don't even remember what it, like the true color of it is. Anyways, yeah, I finished my makeup off camera, did my hair off camera, and then after that, my camera still wasn't charged. So I did my dishes, I cleaned my kitchen, I took the trash out, I made myself some dinner, and my camera still wasn't charged after doing all that. So I just took it off the charger and I'm filming now, so hopefully I can get through the rest of the video without it dying again. But I made myself a coffee, here it is, don't mind the lipstick on the rim of the cup. But I have so many more questions I need to answer. I think we left off on what do you do when you're bored? I believe I already answered that. If I didn't, sorry, I'm not answering it again though, so I'm just gonna skip to the next question. Do you collect anything besides clothes? I used to collect CDs. I have a very hefty CD collection. If you guys are interested in seeing some of those CDs, let me know. I mean, I'll just throw it in some random video. I'm not gonna make like a whole separate video on my CD collection. It's not that vast, but I do have quite a few. I'm so close to the camera. Currently though, I collect cherub decor. I am always on the hunt for it at the thrift store and I have a minimal collection, but I'm always buying cherub themed decor. I don't know what it is about it. I literally love it so much and they're just so cute and like medieval and Renaissance vibes and I love them a lot. So I'm collecting that currently. Then somebody asked me, how do you organize your clothes? I forget I have pieces if I can't see them, but I'm too messy. Honestly, I just have a closet that has like 2-3 foot rods, and then I have a clothing rack that's double tiered, and then I have a dresser. I just make sure I always have enough space to where I can like hang up like literally everything I have, besides like mini shorts and maxi skirts, and then I don't hang my tights or like my simple tank tops, but everything else I hang. And then I have a few cubbies that I put like big sweaters and big jackets in. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way as you are, where like if I don't see it, I forget that I have it. So I just always make sure I have enough space in my closet at all times. And if that means I am constantly looking through it and getting rid of things, then that's what it means. Like recently I've been thrifting quite a decent amount, and I've got quite a few things, so I've actually had to look through my closet like 2 or 3 times in the past like month and gotten rid of things. And honestly, I'm gonna have to do another one of those clean outs really soon, because I just ran out of hangers and I had to take some from my boyfriend's closet. And the racks, they're starting to get really hard to like push clothes side to side, and I hate when I can't like move my clothes freely on the rods. That bothers me. But yeah, my main thing is I just like to make sure I can hang everything, because it's easier to see when it's hung up than like in drawers and stuff, you know? My back hurts so bad. I think the next few questions are like solely centered around my closet. So next one is, what's the most versatile piece in your closet? I don't have one specific item. I'll give you like a type of clothing item, I guess. I believe that printed leggings and skinny jeans are very versatile. I rave about them all the time. They're really easy to layer with, and they're a really good alternative in the winter to tights, because you know, tights don't keep you warm unless they're like fleece lined, but usually I can't find fleece lined tights that are cute. So like leggings, skinny jeans, jeggings can kind of replace tights in the winter, you know? So I would say those are some of my most versatile pieces. What else? Honestly, I can't really think of anything else besides like skinny jeans and leggings / jeggings at the moment. But I think that's just because for me, I feel like I can style like literally everything that I have in a versatile way, so I can't really like pick a specific item. That's like way too hard. Moving on, somebody asked, favorite things to wear at the moment / of all time. My favorite things to wear at the moment are pencil skirts. I love pencil skirts. I don't know if I've talked about this in a video before, but I feel like I used to hate the way pencil skirts made my legs look, so I never wore them, but I recently rediscovered them, and I actually think they are very flattering on me. So they're one of my favorite things to wear right now. I've thrifted quite a few just in the past like 2 weeks, because no one's buying those, okay? But there's so many at the thrift stores that are in like cute, hip styles and like patterns and stuff. Like, I'm not buying a pencil skirt that looks like it's part of like a business suit. I'm buying printed ones or lace ones or just funky ones, you know? And I think they're really cool and fun to style. I'm also a really big fan of wearing my Tuck London skull slip-ons. I'll insert a picture of them here. I've been wearing those like every single day, and I really have been enjoying wearing Argyle tights. And for my favorite things to wear of all time, I cannot give you an answer to that, because it's constantly changing. Not that my style constantly changes. I feel like I'm pretty set on my style right now. I feel like I'll have this style for quite a few years. I hope to, at least. I really like my style right now. It makes me really happy. But I feel like I said that like a year ago, and I feel like I've changed my style. Not drastically, but it has changed since a year ago, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot give you an answer on that. Actually, I can think of like one thing that has stayed the same for years, and that's my Demonia Deviants. I enjoy wearing those. They're the black mid-calf sneakers that I wear all the time. I'll put a picture of them. I have not lost the love I have for those shoes. Next question is not clothing related. This person asked, how old are you? How old do you think I am? Put your guesses in the comments below and I'll tell you in 3, 2, 1. I'm 25. I feel like I don't look 25, and I definitely do not act like I'm 25. I low-key feel like I was so sheltered growing up that it like stunted my maturity. Like, I'm 25 right now, but I feel like I'm 20 at the oldest. I feel so stupid and naive and clueless about so many things, and I feel like it's because I was really sheltered growing up. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm 25. My birthday is April 15th. Yeah. Someone asked, do you have a middle name? If so, what is it? Yeah, I have a middle name, and I used to hate it growing up. I used to give my mom so much garbage for it. I was like, why the heck would you make this my middle name? But I've grown to actually really like it. I think it's really unique, and I've never met anybody else with this as a name or a middle name. So my middle name is Francine. I'm named after my grandpa on my dad's side, and it's a pretty name. I actually went through this phase 2 years ago or 3 years ago now where I actually wanted to go by Francine because I feel like I look like a Francine. I feel like I look more like my middle name than my first name. My first name's Alexa. I never say it on here, but that's my first name. And I feel like I don't look like an Alexa. I look like a Francine. And my mom was like, I mean, you can do that if you want. And I could go by Francine if I wanted to, but I feel like everybody in my life would be caught by surprise that I just instantly want to change my name simply because I just feel like my middle name suits me more. But yeah. Okay, next question. What's your favorite concert you've ever been to? Probably any Narrowhead show. I've seen Narrowhead I think 5 times, and every single time has been a magnificent experience. I love Narrowhead live. It's such a different experience listening to them live than it is listening to them in your headphones. It just makes me feel alive. I feel like a totally different person when I see them live. And you would think that just most shows would make you feel like that, but no. For some reason, it's literally only been Narrowhead for me. I obviously have enjoyed all the other shows I've been to, but there's something about Narrowhead. I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, next question. How do you afford to thrift in such large quantities? Honestly, the big hauls that I show you guys are never from one thrift trip. It's usually from a few thrift trips over the span of a few weeks or even months. There might have been a few rare cases where it was all from one trip, but usually they're from multiple trips. And honestly, I think it just comes down to the fact that the thrift stores around me have sales every single day. There's one thrift store that has a 25, 50, and 75% off sale every day on different colored tags. One of them does 50% off every other day, and then when they're not doing 50% off, they have 50% off on a specific color tag, and then another one also has 50% off every day on a specific color tag. And their prices are just cheap in general, even without the sales and the discounts and stuff. So I am able to thrift a decent amount for very little, which I'm grateful for. And also, if you spend $25 or more at 2 of the thrift stores, you get a 50% off receipt coupon. So I can just thrift one day and then spend $25, get a coupon for 50% off, then go the next day and get 50% off my purchase. They have some really good deals. And if I'm thrifting with my boyfriend, he insists on buying the haul every single time. So that helps out a lot too. I don't know why he does that, but he does, and I'm thankful for it. So yeah, I guess that's kind of all that goes into it. Okay, next, somebody asked, what are some fashion pieces that you're recently on the lookout for at the thrift store? Pencil skirts, bodycon printed mini skirts. I love those. Scarves, tight-fitting blazers, cool mini shorts, colorful studded belts. And then I really want a pale yellow cardigan, and I really want some more solid color, tight-fitting long sleeves that I can layer with. Kind of in the same realm, this question asks, what are your favorite brands to find at the thrift store? I have 25 typed out here, so I'm just gonna go down the list. Forever 21, Love Culture, Wet Seal, Rue 21, Charlotte Russe, Delia's, Old Navy, Trip NYC, Morbid Threads, Lip Service, LEI, No Boundaries, Arizona Jean Company, Gap, Hollister, American Eagle, Aeropostale, and Abercrombie & Fitch. And I already know I'm forgetting some of them, but those are just a few. Moving on. If you were a mystical animal, what would you be? Honestly, probably a unicorn. I think unicorns are so majestic and beautiful, and if I was a unicorn, I would have a rainbow mane and glitter fur. I'd have the brightest blue eyes ever, and I'd have the longest eyelashes, and I'd have my fur pattern around my eyes would be in the shape of eyeliner, and I'd have a cutie mark like My Little Pony, and my cutie mark would be a 4-leaf clover with a heart and a star, and the background of that would be a swatch of plaid fabric or something. That would be so cool, and that would be my unicorn design. Someone asked, what inspired you to be so unique? I don't particularly do things in like pursuit of being unique. I kind of just do what I want. But I guess kind of what got the ball rolling for me was when I first got TikTok, I saw so many cool people just like being who they wanted to be, looking how they wanted to look, and they just didn't seem to care. So I was like, I can also do that. And I just kind of went from there. I really do not care about what other people think of me or if I look unique or not. I just do what I want to do. Like, I look how I want to look. Yeah, do what you want. Do what makes you happy. Be who you are. Okay, the next thing someone asked was, have you ever thought of getting more piercings or tattoos? Yes. I really would like to have a set of sparrows or swallows on my collarbones or my hip bones. And honestly, I just hope to get to a spot financially where whenever I want a tattoo, I can just go get it. But the only one that I know that I specifically want right now are those sparrows or swallows, whatever the heck they're called. And then for piercings, yes, I do want more piercings. Going along with that, what is your dream piercing setup? I have 2 of my dream piercings, which is just my septum and my nostril, but I also really want a bridge piercing, and I want centered eyebrow piercings, and I want a double nostril piercing. So on this side I want 2 nostril piercings, and then on this side I just want 1. And then I want a Medusa, which is the thing right above your, like in your Cupid's bow, you know? And then I want a vertical labre or labrette. I also really want a forehead dermal, but those reject pretty easily from what I've read and seen on TikTok, but I think they're so cool. I just like dermal piercings, but they scare me. So yeah, that's my dream piercing setup. I think my next piercing I get, whenever that is probably gonna be the bridge. If I even have the right anatomy for it, I don't know. I've been told by so many people that I would look so good with a bridge piercing, which is not why I want one. I've wanted one before people were telling me that, but I've always wondered if I even have the right anatomy for it. Because when I pinch the skin right there, I feel like it's not a lot, but I'm not a piercer, so I don't know. Okay, next question is about my septum. I love my septum. They asked, what gauge is your septum? I'm at a 1 gauge right now. I just recently stretched to a 0, but I lost the size because I decided to take the 0 gauge jewelry out and do a septum stack without a 0 gauge tunnel or eyelet in my nose. And I should have known I would have lost the size, but for some reason I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Luckily, it didn't shrink too much because I'm still at a 1 gauge. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna stick to 1 gauge for a while because the 0 was feeling really heavy in my nose. Like, I have the same jewelry as this in a 0 gauge, and for some reason it felt like I had 5 pounds hanging off my face. This doesn't feel like anything, but 0 gauge, oh my god, it hurt. It was making like my face sore because it was just like dragging it down so much. So I actually just ordered another 1 gauge jewelry piece. I custom ordered it off Etsy. I'm gonna try out a new jewelry style. I got a spiked horseshoe and it's in a 10mm diameter. I've never been able to find a 10mm diameter horseshoe at this big of a gauge, but this seller was custom making them. It's mid-spark gems, I think. So I'm trying that out and I'm hoping I really like it because I'm getting tired of just having this ring in my nose. I love it, but sometimes I want to change it up. And I hate wearing tunnels and eyelets in my nose, which is why I didn't wear one when I did my initial septum stack because they're just uncomfortable to me. So yeah. Okay, the last question about my septum. When did you start stretching your septum? I believe in September or October of 2022. September, October, or November, one of those months. I was looking through my pictures and it's kind of unclear because I think I deleted a lot of my pictures from those months. So I don't actually remember, but I know it's one of those 3 months. Okay, this next one isn't really a question, it's kind of more of a statement, but they said, I watched you and Ricky's live on YouTube and I would tune into your story times. So I went live on Ricky's YouTube with him a few weeks ago and somehow I ended up telling the story time of like this stupid idiot guy who totally was like manipulating me and gaslighting me when I was like 19, 18, and I had no idea that's what he was doing until years later when I like had the epiphany, like the realization. I was like, oh my god. Like that happened to me. I think I was watching a story time on TikTok and I was like, wait, that happened to me. Is that what that's called? And then I was just telling the story and I feel like I told too much. I feel like I was like low-key trauma dumping, but I don't know. I have like no filter when it comes to stories. I'm like really open about like everything and I was just telling the story and it's not like necessarily like when I tell it, I have like an adverse reaction and I like have PTSD or whatever. I was just telling the story. So that's what that person's talking about. I don't really think I would ever tell stories like that unprompted on YouTube, but maybe if I ever do a live on my own YouTube channel, I will tell you story times of stupid guys. Because I have quite a few, to be honest. Not that many, but more than I'd like, you know? Okay, somebody asked me, funniest memory. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was like 10 or 11, me and my sister were with my mom at Walmart and we were shopping around, and my sister and I were playing some game where one person would close their eyes and then the other person would like guide them around. So basically the person in the front would have their eyes closed and then the person in the back would hold onto their shoulders and like be their eyes and like maneuver them to like walk certain ways. And in this particular memory, I can't remember who was like the guider and who had their eyes closed, but whoever was the guider guided the person with their eyes closed to walk straight into a woman who was shopping as well. Like they purposefully walked the person into this lady, and the lady was like, "Whoa." And then like the person who had their eyes closed like opened their eyes and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And my mom started screaming at us in the middle of the store. She was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And whoever was the guider was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to." And they totally meant to. And I wish I remembered who it was, but I can't remember. I don't remember if it was me or my sister. Knowing me, it was probably me because I was literally like the dumbest person alive. But that we were just like, "Oh, we didn't mean to." I think whoever was the guider like low-key said, "Oh, she like can't see really well." Oh my god. It sounds really stupid telling it in like story form, but you should have been there. It was really funny. And my mom was making that face that parents make where they like scrunch their lips like butthole lips, and she's like, "Get over here, what are you doing?" Oh my god, I look so ugly right now, but yeah, that's my funniest memory I can think of right now. Favorite memory, probably something to do with Ricky. I have a lot of favorite memories, man. Next question is most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you. I don't know. I mean, I've fallen during a hurdle race in middle school. That wasn't really embarrassing though. I feel like if you do hurdles, you're bound to fall at least once. Like everybody falls. Oh, I just thought of it. I feel kind of bad saying it's my most embarrassing moment because it's probably not, but it's one of the embarrassing moments I can think of. The person who asked me to prom did like this whole dance routine in our locker hall in front of everybody after we had broken up. And he still asked me to prom with this whole routine. So the fact that it was in front of everybody, I was like, oh my god, I have to say yes. I'm gonna seem like such a biatch if I say no. And up until that point, I was kind of on planning not really going to prom because I was like, this is a waste of money and I don't want to go. And then he does all this and I was like, oh my god. And it was just embarrassing the fact that like somebody had like a boom box and he was like breakdancing, but he didn't know how to breakdance. So he was kind of just like rolling and like spinning and like, I don't want to be mean because he was a nice kid. It was just like, I would have much rather him just say the words, not do that whole routine in front of like 100 people, because I was literally just standing there. My face was probably beet red and it was just an embarrassing moment. And I like felt like I had to say yes, even though I really didn't want to go. But I'm a people pleaser, I guess, and I feel like I would have looked really bad and really mean if I said no after he rolled all over the floor for me. And like I said, he was a nice dude. Like, it's nothing against him. That was a lot. Okay, moving on. Somebody asked, what was your high school experience like? Did you ever anticipate becoming an icon? I don't really think I'm an icon right now, but thank you. No, I didn't anticipate becoming an icon. As for my high school experience, I mean, I was constantly doing sports, so I was like always at some type of practice. I had like 3 or 4 friends. It was kind of chill. I just went to class, tried to pass the classes, did my sports, and came home and did a ton of chores and babysat sometimes, did my homework, and then slept, and then did all that for 4 years straight. I feel like I didn't get like the classic high school experience that's like shown in TV and all that, which I feel like a lot of people don't get that experience. But I didn't go to like high school parties, or I didn't get into fights, and I had one boyfriend in high school, and it was kind of more like just like a friendship, and we like held hands and kissed sometimes. But like I low-key thought I was like asexual because of him, and I was like, I don't really even like you like that. And it like threw me into this whole spiral. I was dealing with depression and anxiety in high school. I would always leave campus because of my anxiety. I would have like full-on panic attacks and think I was dying, and I would just walk off campus. I lived like 1.5 miles away from the school, so I would just leave whenever I wanted to, which makes me sound like a brat, but like I could not stay on campus when I felt like that. Sometimes I get in trouble by my parents, but they understood like how horrible my anxiety got. Honestly, nothing really special. I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it, you know? It was kind of just like, whatever. I didn't go to any like high school parties or anything like that until I graduated high school. So we had like a grad party type thing. I was not a fan. They were like drinking and smoking, and I was like, this is bad. We're not old enough, because once again, I was extremely sheltered and I felt horrible for even being there. Like I wasn't partaking in anything. I was just there around it. And I was like, oh my God, I don't like this at all. Not one bit do I like this. So yeah, that was like my only high school party, even though it was like technically after I had graduated. But I'll tell you a few more party stories, I guess. So when I was in college, I decided to give the party scene another go, knowing that I was not gonna like it. I knew I most likely wasn't gonna like it, but I had been invited by one of my friends, and I just like always felt bad for saying no, because they had invited me like 2 or 3 times beforehand, and I always said no. And then these like next few times I decided to try it out. I shouldn't have. These parties were scary. They were so scary. The one that sticks out in my mind the most is like, it was like a college sports party. So like all the sports teams were at this party, and it was supposed to be like my college solely, but people from like the colleges an hour away were coming, and it was at just a house, a normal like 3-bedroom house. There was a lot of people at this house, and I show up to this house. Like my sister drops me off, because at the time I don't think I had my own car, or I didn't have my license yet. I don't know. I learned how to drive really late. I was like 18 or 19, whatever. I think she drops me off, and I'm like texting my friend who invited me, and he knew that I was like not part of the party scene, so he was gonna like be with me the whole time because he didn't want something to happen to me, because like that's how many people were here, and that's how like weird and scary it was, and he wasn't anticipating this. Otherwise he wouldn't have had me come, but whatever. So I get there, he's like waiting in the front yard, and he's like, yeah, there's like a lot of people here for some reason, and a ton of them aren't even from our school. And I was like, oh great, like this will be fun. And I take maybe like 15 steps into the living room, and instantly some girl is pulling my hair, pulling the back of my shirt, like yanking me back. I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm not one to fight. I was not about to fight this person. I just turn around real fast, and she's like, oh, you're not the bitch I thought you were, whatever. What? So I guess she was gonna fight me if I was the person she thought I was. I don't know. So I kind of was just like, okay, whatever. And I like walked away with my friend. We walk away into this room on the side, which is where like my whole track team is, because I ran track in college. And they're all passing around this like giant bottle of, I don't even know what it was. It was some type of alcohol, and they all had like a bong. I think it was vodka. It was like a giant, like huge. It was big. And I didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do anything. I still don't. So they're passing around, they're like, oh, come on, like, take a swig. I was like, first of all, you're all drinking off that? That's nasty. Like, I don't know what diseases you guys have. Like, no. And second of all, I don't want to drink. I really don't know why I even went to this party, because everyone literally went to get like hammered. Everyone was hammered out of their mind, except for like the friend I was with. And the only reason he wasn't hammered, I think, is because he knew I was coming, and he was a decent enough person to just like not drink until I had left, you know? So I stayed there for maybe like an hour, and during that hour, one of my other teammates kept trying to make me go to like his room with him, and he's like, oh, we can be in here, and like no one else will be in here with us. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I was like, I want to be with like my other friend. And he's like, come on, it'll be so much quieter in here. And he's like, come on, like we can just like lay on my bed. And I was like, oh, you're trying to like do something? And I was repulsed by like anything that had to do with that. I'm a very like late bloomer, whatever, repulsed by it. I was like, I'm not touching you, like get away from me. And so I was like telling my other friend, I want to leave. I think he's being like weird, and he keeps trying to get me to go to his room, so I want to leave. He's like, oh yeah, I understand. I'll go outside with you and wait, so you don't have to wait out there by yourself. And apparently somebody had a gun at this party. I have no idea. So that mixed with the dude trying to like take me to his room, I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. So he was like, yeah, but we can't go through the front door. It's too packed. Like we cannot walk through the living room. And I was like, okay, so like, is there like a back gate or something? And he was like, no, there's too many people in the backyard as well. I think we're gonna have to go through one of the windows. So he takes me to the room that the guy was trying to take me in, like the other dude. He takes me into that room and opens the window, and we have to climb out the window to get out of the house. And so I'm just waiting in the front yard with my friend. And he was like, yeah, this was kind of crazy. Like, I did not think it was gonna be this busy, and I don't blame you for leaving. He's like, but I'm glad you at least tried it out. Thanks for coming. And then I left. And then I think I tried out one more party, but this time it was only my track team, so it was chill, it was whatever. They were all drinking still, but it was like 10 people versus 200. So I was fine. Anyways, that's not even part of my high school experience, but I wanted to mention it anyways, because it's funny. Somebody asked, what was your favorite subject in school? I liked orchestra. I did it all 4 years of high school. My class was really chill. My teacher was really chill. Honestly, like all of my friends were either in band or orchestra, so I was like just constantly around my friends, so that was nice. Yeah, it was just fun. It was like a hands-on type of thing. You know, we had sheet music and we never had to like memorize equations or memorize poems or anything like that. You just had your instrument. This is my violin. Sheet music, you read the sheet music, and that was that. And it was just fun. I wasn't really good at it, but I was decent enough. But if you're talking like academic subject, I guess I'd have to say English, because English was the easiest class for me to maintain an A in. English comes really easily to me. I know it probably doesn't seem like it by the way I talk. I sound illiterate half the time I speak, but I'm really good at whipping up an essay in like an hour and a half. I did that for like every single essay in college and high school. I would wait until the very last minute, procrastinate until the night before, and I would do that essay and I'd always get an A. I don't know what it is. I just love a good essay. I don't know if I could still do it now because I haven't written one in a while, but I was pretty darn good at writing essays. So, English, yeah. Someone asked, do you miss running track? Sometimes yes. I don't really miss like the competitive part or like the training. I kind of just miss running in general, like running casually, just taking jogs. I do plan on starting that up when it gets warmer, because I really just don't want to jog when it's cold. I don't like the way it makes my lungs feel. But obviously if I start it up in the summer and I ended up really liking it, I will continue it on into the winter months, you know? But yeah, I miss track and cross country in general. I mean, like the community and the track meets and the cross country meets were always really fun, just hanging out with my teammates and stuff. I don't miss the anxiety from it though. Like, it's fun to compete, but I would get so anxious to the point where I would literally black out at the start line. I wouldn't eat like the entire day I had a race. I wouldn't eat until the race was over. And I would probably poop like 20 times before the races because I had like anxious poops. And then once I got on the starting line, this is for track or cross country, get on the starting line, my vision would start going black, my whole body would like tingle and I would go numb. And then you hear the start gun and then you go, and then that feeling obviously goes away. But it was so scary feeling that at the beginning of races, because it's like, how am I gonna race if I feel like this? I kind of went off on a tangent there, but to answer your question short and sweet, yeah, sometimes I do miss running track. Holy cow, I've been talking for so long. Okay, moving on. What makes you feel the most beautiful? I think being educated and open-minded and accepting of individuals is what makes me feel the most beautiful. I don't know if that makes sense. There's not like an aesthetic thing that really makes me feel beautiful. Obviously, I feel beautiful right now with my makeup done and everything, but I feel like it goes deeper than that, you know? It sounds like stupid and philosophical, but I'm not trying to be like pretentious like that. That's truly like how I think of it as, you know? I'm moving on. Do you get insecure too? I think you're so cool and wish I looked like you. Thank you for thinking I'm cool, but you should want to look like yourself. I'm flattered though, I really am. Honestly, I feel like I used to get really insecure, but then I experienced like the worst depression of my life. And once I came out of that, I was like, why do I care about really insanely stupid things like that? Like, why do I care how my teeth look? Why do I care how my nose looks when I have so much to be grateful for? And like the fact that I even have teeth and a nose I should be grateful for. So I guess like experiencing depression has made me less insecure in a way. I don't know, I really just don't care. I do not care. I could care less what people think about me. Like, yeah, sometimes I like catch people staring at me and laughing at me in public, and it doesn't really like hurt my feelings. It just bothers me because I'm like, how are you like that senseless to like laugh at somebody in public just because they look different than you? Like, I could never imagine myself laughing at a person in public because they look like me or different than me, you know? Unless obviously they were wearing like a funny costume that was meant to be laughed at. Like, it just boggles my mind, but it doesn't offend me. if anything, I just feel sorry for people who do that, because it's like, can't you like live a little, have fun? Like, why are you such a hateful biatch, you know? So I think the key to just not being insecure is to just not care. But I mean, it's easier said than done. Somebody asked, what is your biggest insecurity and how did you get over it or deal with it? I feel like I just kind of answered that. I guess I didn't really tell you like what my biggest insecurity was. It was my teeth. I have crooked teeth. As you can tell, I used to hate them. I used to think I looked buck-toothed. I used to think I looked like a vampire. At least I have teeth. So this one's not appearance related though. I still struggle with being insecure about this. I kind of talked about it earlier. I feel really sheltered and like innocent and stupid when it comes to a lot of things. I feel like I'm at a very grown age and I should know a lot more than I do. And it's about like certain topics that I don't care enough to explain right now, but I will just say I'm glad I have a boyfriend who is caring and understanding and patient and kind and doesn't judge me for my unknowingness. Yeah. Somebody asked, how do you get over any embarrassment or anxiety about posting yourself if you had any? I don't really remember having any embarrassment about posting. I was kind of just like, everyone else is doing it, so why don't I do it, you know? Cranberries reference, kind of. But I think the main thing that can help is to just remember that most of the people who see your posts online don't actually know you in real life. And if they're gonna decide to just hate and judge you based on like a fit check or a makeup look or something that you've done, then they're just a miserable lowlife who doesn't deserve your time in the first place. Like, who cares if someone that close-minded has an opinion of you? They're dumb. They're dumb as a bag of rocks. They're stupid. And you should not care what they think about you. You can let them comment their dumb nonsense. Who cares? There's no point in trying to please people like that because usually there's never gonna be any change. They're just stupid and stuck in their ways and they're gonna be miserable their whole entire life. And as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, that's all that matters. It really is. I feel like once you realize that and become confident in yourself, posting should come easy to you and it shouldn't make you scared or embarrassed. And I mean, everybody posts now. Everybody's online. So if you want to do it, you know? Someone asked, what's your favorite video game? I gotta say probably Minecraft. Okay, these next few questions have a lot to do with like how I style clothes and how I layer clothes. And I'm just gonna forewarn you, I'm horrible at giving advice on this. And I literally just wear what I want. I'm gonna try to give you advice, but it might just end up being wear what you want. So, what's your thought process when styling clothes? I want to not match too much. I want to have unique layers and I don't want to follow the sandwich method. I hate the sandwich method. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. I mean, obviously it works, but I personally don't like the sandwich method. Like, I've used it sometimes unintentionally, obviously, but I don't base my outfits around the sandwich method, which if you don't know what the sandwich method is, it's basically like your shirt is one color, then your pants are one color, and then your shoes are the same color as your shirt. It's like your pants are sandwiched between two of the same colors. You know what I'm saying? And I try to avoid it. Obviously, it doesn't work every single time. Like, I've worn a black shirt and black shoes. That's not what I mean. I just don't base my outfits around the sandwich method. And yeah, I try not to match too much. I want to incorporate a lot of colors into my outfits. I want to incorporate as many patterns as I can. I want to feel like me when I'm styling clothing. When it comes to layering, what would you recommend for a base that can work for all seasons? What? All seasons? I don't know. Pants and a shirt, skinny jeans and a tight short sleeve shirt can be your base for an outfit in any season. I don't know the answer to that question. Sorry. What are some of your tips to making outfits more interesting and how to know what to layer? Wear as many patterns as you possibly can. Don't be afraid of not matching. Wear pieces that a lot of people would deem ugly or unstylish or whatever. I'm not saying wear things that you don't like, but I mean, like, if you like skinny jeans and just don't wear them because other people don't like them, like, don't let that stop you. Just wear the things that other people might think are ugly, you know? And your outfit automatically looks more interesting, I guess. And then for the second part of that question and how to know what to layer, You guys, I'm not good at this. I'm just not good at it. I really am not good at giving fashion advice. I'd rather just like put an outfit on and just show the visual process. You can layer anything. There's no rules. I don't know what to layer until it comes to me in the moment. Okay, next question. How do I introduce pattern and color into my life and coordinate? You just wear the patterns and the color. Don't be scared of it not coordinating. You just wear them. That's how you introduce patterns and colors into your life. You simply get clothing items with patterns and colors and you wear them. Favorite silhouettes to wear? Right now, I am enjoying all types of silhouettes. I don't really have a favorite silhouette to wear. I have a least favorite silhouette to wear, and that's baggy on baggy. I don't like wearing baggy on baggy. Like, I don't like wearing a big baggy tee with baggy pants. I mean, I'll wear it to bed, or if I'm feeling really, really lazy and I'm just going to like the grocery store, then maybe I'll wear it. But I really don't even own baggy pants like that. So I'm pretty opposed to wearing that silhouette unless it comes to pajamas. Okay, moving on from clothing and fashion advice. I hope I helped in some way. I probably didn't. I apologize. Do you relate to your sign? Do you know your big three? Sun, moon, and rising. I'm an Aries. I kind of relate to the stereotypical Aries characteristics, I guess. I'm not super like fiery, courageous, hot-headed, extroverted, energetic. Like, I'm not really those things, but I am impulsive, blunt, impatient, confident, and I guess I'm kind of like a leader in a way, but only because I like to be in control, because I'm a control freak. So if I get to like lead the way and tell everyone what to do, and I'm like confident in myself in that situation, then I would rather be the leader than just like sitting back and letting someone else do it, you know? And I do know my big three. I'm an Aries sun, a Virgo moon, and a Virgo rising. So I feel like I'm very critical of myself. I think that's what that means. I don't know. What is your MBTI personality type? I actually forgot like that this even existed, and I was like, what even is that? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, I've taken this test before, but I didn't remember my results, so I retook it and I got INFP, which stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceiving. And then the little description read, these rare personality types tend to be quiet, open-minded, and imaginative, and they apply a caring and creative approach to everything they do. Kinda sums me up in 2 sentences, you know? Next question, how did you and your partner meet? I've told this story 20,000 million times, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. We met through TikTok in December of 2020. Ricky, my boyfriend, DM'd me this long poem type thing, basically confessing that he had a crush on me. And so we kind of chatted a little bit, then we met up in January of 2021, and then we started dating a month later in February of 2021, and now we're here. There was a few breakups in between all that, but whatever, we don't really count them. We've been together, I guess, on and off for like 6 years, but we haven't broken up for like 3. Okay, moving on from that. Do you see you and your boyfriend having kids? If so, do you pick up kid drip? Honestly, right now, I do not see myself having kids. Not because I like hate kids or whatever. I mean, I don't really like them, but I'm not like a hater of them. I just don't think I'm mentally stable enough at all to have a kid. Like, how am I supposed to take care of a kid if I can barely take care of myself sometimes? Like, I just don't see that happening, and I don't think it'd be a good idea, and I think it'd be really irresponsible of me to have a kid right now. I'm also the biggest germaphobe in the world, and kids are disgusting. They are nasty. They are the dirtiest things ever, covered in snot, spit, poop, pee. Absolutely not. I'm not dealing with that. Gross. But like I said, I'm not completely opposed to the idea, but at the moment, absolutely not. It's not happening. I also feel like I just lack motherly instinct. Like, I know how to take care of a kid. I started babysitting when I was like 13 years old. I know how to take care of a kid. But I feel like maybe since I started babysitting so early and I got that parenting experience so early, it's kind of depleted my motherly instincts, and I don't feel like that connection, I guess, because I know how hard it is to take care of a kid. Babysitting so young made me aware of how fragile they are, and I was constantly paranoid, and I feel like I'd be 10 times worse with my own kid. I would constantly be scared of them dying. Dude, kids, they're insanely fragile. Like, I remember countless times having to like dislodge something out of my little sibling's throat, or like they would trip on literally nothing and then slam their face into the ground, or I would pick them up and then they'd throw their head back and almost break their neck. Like, they're stupid and they're really fragile, and it's scary taking care of them. And I feel like I would be so paranoid constantly that it would send me into like a mental breakdown. I'm not stable enough to have a kid. But I told myself, and I told Ricky, if I still don't feel ready by the time I'm 38 years old, because that's the age my mom had her last kid, then I guess that just means I wasn't meant to have a kid. So I'm giving myself until I'm 38, okay? But no, I don't pick up kid drip. That's a waste of my money because I don't have a kid right now. I think I have like 7 or so more questions to answer, so I'm gonna try to get through them somewhat fast. Next question is, how do your style bundles work, plus what are they? So I kind of talked about them earlier, but basically I do thrifted style bundles that are personalized to your style. The size I offer right now includes 7 clothing items plus 4 accessories. And basically I'll drop a link on my Instagram story, my TikTok story, and my YouTube community posts when I have a style bundle drop, and I'll have a specific amount of spots available. So you basically just click on that link, it takes you to the style bundle form, and you fill out that form. It has all the information I'd ever need to complete your style bundle. It has your size, your height, dream items, colors you like, colors you don't like, style inspo, all that. You'd fill out that form and then you'd submit it, and then you would wait for me or my sister to contact you. It has the Instagram handles that would be contacting you. You have to make sure your DMs are set to public. You can't have them on just like followers only. Otherwise, we won't be able to message you. So usually I'm able to turn the form submissions off once I hit 5 submissions or whatever number of submissions I'm doing. But if you somehow slip a form in after 5 have already been submitted, you would just be put on a wait list, and then you would instantly have a spot secured in the next style bundle drop. Unless you decide you don't want to do it, then you would just drop your spot and it would be given to somebody else. But once you're contacted, we would take payment, and then we would start sourcing for your bundle. It takes like a month to a month and a half, which sounds like a long time, but I just want to be able to have ample amount of time to give you a bundle that truly fits your style. Like, I don't want to just give you garbage and like random stuff, because I've seen so many people on TikTok do style bundle reviews, and oh my god, a lot of them are horrible. It's like the person slapped them together in a week, gave them a ton of like old woman clothes. Not that anything's wrong with old lady clothes, but you know what I'm talking about. Gave them like giant Bermuda shorts, huge flowy polo shirts, just not things that fit the person's style. It was just like a ton of random stuff. Yeah, so I like to give myself a lot of time to curate the perfect bundle for you. I also almost always throw in extras. Like, you're probably never gonna just get 7 clothing items. It's probably gonna be more than 7. I give people so many extras sometimes, it's kind of insane. But if you happen to not get extras, it's nothing against you. It just means either I didn't have any overstock, or I was just not having a ton of luck with your bundle and just found the amount of pieces that I promised. But you most likely will get extras. So I don't know when the next round of bundles is gonna drop, but I'll definitely let you guys know on my Instagram story, my TikTok story, and my YouTube community posts. And I'm not sure how many spots I'm gonna have available this time. Like I was saying, our last drop we did 10, and that was just way too many. So I might do 5, I might do 7, I don't know. And I'm also thinking of possibly doing levels instead of just one set bundle. So I might have like a level 1 that's like 4 clothing items, 2 accessories, level 2, 6 clothing items, 3 accessories, level 3, 8 clothing items, 4 accessories. You know what I'm talking about. And they'll be differing prices. I used to do it that way, and then I just stopped because the forms were just getting too complicated, but I don't know. We'll see what I do. But yeah, that's the info on my style bundles. Next question. Do you have any weird/fun makeup tips? I don't really know if this is like a well-known makeup tip, but if my makeup's looking dry and cakey and creasy and disgusting and just, it's like separating, I'll put like a little dollop of Aquaphor in the problem area, and I'll kind of like blend that with my finger, and then I'll blend it further with a beauty blender, and then I'll put whatever product was creasing back on top of that, and usually it helps my issue. It usually happens like underneath my eyes right here. I'll get like super dry and like disgusting looking, or my makeup will like rest in the folds of my eyes. So I'll put Aquaphor right there and like dab it with my finger, and then I'll go into my beauty blender, and sometimes I won't even have to put extra product. I'll just use whatever's left on my beauty blender, and then I'll like re-powder it or reset it. I do that with my blush sometimes, like right here it'll look kind of crazy. I don't know, Aquaphor works with a lot of stuff, and I feel like it's very good at making your makeup not look cakey or dry or creasy. Sometimes I slather my entire face in Aquaphor before I put makeup on. Rarely, but sometimes I do if I'm having a very particularly dry day. Next question is also makeup related. What's a makeup product you wouldn't live without? If I had clear skin, I'd probably say some type of lip product or like blush or something, but I don't have clear skin, so I'm gonna say concealer. Some type of concealer that like sets down by itself, because if I'm only allowed one product and it's concealer, that means I wouldn't be able to set it with powder. So it'd have to be a really good self-setting concealer. When I first read this next question, for some reason I thought it was like a jab at me or something. I don't think it is. I just initially when I read it I was like, what? But it's, how does one cope with a constant need to be individual or unique? I don't really feel a need to be individual or unique, but I feel like everyone's like naturally unique in their own way. So I feel like I don't need to like try to be unique, you know? I feel like I already am, and I feel like everybody already is. Next question. What items would I need if I wanted to summon you? I really liked this question. I would say probably ibuprofen, some coffee with some creamer in it, Demonia Deviants, my black tattoo choker that I wear like every single day, 1 gauge septum jewelry, antibacterial soap, and probably chicken bouillon seasoning, because I put it in everything I eat. Literally everything that is savory, chicken bouillon seasoning is going in. I even put it in chicken flavored top ramen, which already comes with a packet of chicken bouillon seasoning, but I put more in it because I love it so much. And that's all I could think of. Next question, what is your sexuality? Straight, demisexual, I guess. I don't know, straight, demisexual. I don't really have those feelings just like naturally, I guess. I have to like know a person and be comfortable with them to feel that way. I think it's called demisexual. I don't know. I thought I was asexual for literally like 5 years, and then I met Ricky and I was like, I'm not. Next question, do you have autism? Not that I know of. I've never been tested for it, but I'm not opposed to being tested for it. I honestly feel like it would make a lot of sense if I was on the spectrum in some way. I feel like it would explain a lot about why I am the way I am, but I don't know. Okay, we finally reached the last question. It's kind of just a random one to be thrown at the end of this video, but whatever. Do you like games? And do you sleep in and have your own room? So it's kind of a 2-in-1 question. To answer your first question, yeah, I like games. I like Minecraft, Red Dead Redemption, GTA, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Those are just some of my favorites. I don't really play many except Minecraft, but I do enjoy them. And then to answer your second question, yes, I have my own room, but no, I do not sleep in my own room simply because I don't have a bed. So I sleep with my boyfriend in his room, which I don't mind. I like sleeping with him because he's my boyfriend. But sometimes I want to sleep alone, mainly because I be having stomach aches at night sometimes, and I just like want to be alone and fart in my own bed without having to worry about waking Ricky up with my stench. That sounds disgusting, but like there are nights where I'm laying in bed and I have the worst gas ever, and for some reason when I lay down, it's like when all my gas just wants to like leave my body, so I'm like farting up a storm, and I'm like, wow, I hope he can't smell this. Usually he's asleep, but I'm like, what if the stench wakes him up? Like, what if something starts burning his nose or his eyes and he's like, what is that? And I'm like, sorry, I am farting a lot right now. So yeah, I plan on eventually getting like a futon couch pull out bed type thing, or just like a twin size bed to put in my room for those nights when I just need to sleep in my own bed and be disgusting and fart. Yeah, that was the last question though. I don't know how many I answered, and sorry, this video is like literally scattered, so random, all over the place. What even is it? I don't know. But there's some more videos to come. I'm actually simultaneously filming another one as I film this one. Hopefully it's a fun video. I'm trying. That was my Q&A / get ready with me, just for funsies and just for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get notified every single time I upload. I promise you guys, I'm trying my hardest to upload more consistently, which I say in every video, but I really am trying. Like, I really am. I feel like the worst YouTuber ever, but it's fine. I hope you guys have a good day, night, morning, whatever time it is where you live, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.